Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of your Daily Dose. Just a quick one. As you can see, we have pretty much ended, the Star Wish, Starlight. I'm just going to call it Star Wish from now on. The Star Wish event, for those that got lucky, congratulations. I feel like quite a few people on this server did get quite lucky. Lilith actually got 2 fire deities, which is pretty cool. A couple of mythic boxes going out there as well. We did, of course, get Warlord Dong Zhao on this account, which is pretty cool. Overall, a very good, I guess, just a very good event for free to play players. Now, for those that are curious, I did spend some cash because I wanted to finish off a couple of my heroes, which is what I did. When I say finish off, realistically, I just needed some of these stupid chests. I was going to go on 4-star Dongzhao, but then I decided with the concurring Paradise event yesterday, I believe we managed to grab the 80 shards here. So I kind of used my brain. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just level up UG because I do use UG quite a lot. He actually starts to get pretty decent. I want to say he gets pretty decent towards 5-star level, particularly when he gets decked out. Now, if you are running him, Zaya's Charm on him is perfectly good. He really is just there for his ability to essentially control the enemy. He does do a decent amount of damage, so don't sleep on him. His poison damage is quite impressive. But in terms of this account, I do run him more as a support hero. And he really lines up with, I want to say he works so well with Sharpie. For those that don't know, this guy has an ability in his skill damage to essentially uh, basically binds the target for 1 round. So they can't evade. They basically can't do shit. They can't do shit, right? Because Shadowbind is pretty good. And basically they take more damage, right? So it's really one of those things where if you want to set this guy up in line with Sharpie, um, it becomes immobile, so it takes 15% more damage, and of course that scales up with, of course, the more warlords you have in the account, but also just basically it scales really well into the MC's ability to paralyze. Now, the thing with this is you just got to remember, if you want to if you do want to start building up an account, I would recommend getting the Mythic Hero to at least 4-star before you start to work on the other ones. I would only say that because I know that 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get a question about arms race, and they're going to be like, so what should I buy, PB? Should I just go for the heroes or should I go for the wings? And let's just talk about it for a second. Now that the updated version of the arms race is well and truly out, basically those that do try to spend, you pretty much get a guaranteed Thunderfire feather, which is really important because you're going to start to be able to rank your wings up until you can get to the Nether feathers, which is very, very expensive. But the reality is the game has pretty much given you all of the tools that you need in terms to most spenders to be able to get to the next tier, which is the Nether feather tier. So the reality is, and I know that people on this account have done the same thing, or this, server, I should say, is that they just went, oh crap, I came first, which means I basically got, and I want to say this with all sincerity, they basically got from this event only, instead of picking the shards, they picked the chest. So that's like 450. Then you get the guaranteed 50 from there. I mean, you're looking at 500 merits, which is actually pretty cool. When you think about it, 500 merits essentially will give you the opportunity to, I mean, look, if you skipped out on it just for 1 day, if you skipped out on one event, you're almost guaranteed by the second time arm race rolls around, and you do spend a little bit of money, because just be mindful, this is not including how much money you've actually spent to get your flags and merit badges as well. You can pretty much just start buying transformations, which is actually the best option for a lot of players. Now, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say, hey, look, you should definitely do it. I'm just saying, for those that are trying to think ahead in terms of best value for this event, transformations of the mythic variety are actually the best. And the reason being is your indexes. You get all damage reduction, you get attack plus 35% on this one. There are some pretty significant statistic boosts that you can get out of it. Another one, of course, for those that are curious, and they probably will do this before they get into the transformation realm, is I'll probably start to buy out all of their outfits. And the reason why you want to buy the outfits is A, they look really, really cool, but B, it's because they give you a plus all percent 7. Okay, so you do get 7% for every single mythic outfit that you own, and for the legendaries, for those that are playing catch up like myself, you do get a plus 5% to all of your statistics. That's nothing to sneeze about. Particularly if you're already in the billion range, that 7% is almost like a guaranteed extra billion power. Of course, that scales even higher depending on how high you are up there. So if you're just looking for an easy power up and you do have 180 merit points, I would recommend going and grabbing one of the mythic outfits, maybe the ones that you actually are going to use, but I would go ahead and grab those ones. But in general, most players are going to say, I went and bought these chests. And I mean, I'm not against the idea, but at the same time, I really do feel like if you're patient and you have been saving up for the events, like i.e. you've just been skipping some events because let's be honest, there's not really anything worth spending on in terms of the mythic tokens, and they won't be out for at least another week and a half, 2 weeks, depending on the schedule. I know there was a confirmed schedule, but I mean, I know how much they like to change those as well. We may even get a dual event with the next Generation 4 pools, and we're already well into the month of getting our Generation 5 heroes anyway. So at this stage, you might even just say, look, I'm going to skip the Gen 4 pools PB, and I'm just going to wait for the Generation 5. And in a lot of regards, that will be the deciding factor if you want to go down that path. If you want to skip and wait for Gen 5 and keep saving up all of your mythic tokens, and you decide, well, heck, I'm just going to spend my gold merit badges on the mythic chests for my heroes, I absolutely think that that is a fantastic idea. But just be mindful that the nature of this event, the entirety of the reason why you will get this event, is to build your divine wings. And the reason why that's important is because even as a free-to-play player now, you pretty much have the opportunity to start working on Winter's Prism and Thunder Wrath. And you will need one Thunderfire Shard, and of course that means you're going to have to sacrifice some of your merits. But the thing with that is, look, you look really good, but it's the damage increase. You get 20% damage increase, you do get damage reduction. They do scale up as you can go along. It's not like you just get one and then it's the other. It's like you get it on top of the other. So all of the damage stacks up as far as I can tell. Now, there are a lot of statistics on the page, don't get me wrong. But the reality is you kind of want to keep working towards getting your feathers. Now, for me to get this, I need to get this to tier 2, and then I need to get it to tier 1, and then I need to get it to tier 2. And what are you at the moment? I think are you at tier 1? I'm at tier 1. I need tier 2. Okay, so I actually do need to come first, second, or third in this event to get this one ranked up one more level. And then I can move on to the cerulean feathers, and then I can move on to eventually these ones. And after that, I think you need the nether feather. Yeah. So the highest that you can technically get without actually having to get into the next tier, i.e. the crossover event for your nether feathers, is pretty much the rhyme blades. So yeah, there are lots of things to work towards. This event is really predominantly focused on that. So just be mindful that the power boost it's not like the power boost is huge, but the statistic boost, the damage reduction, the PvP damage reduction, all of that sort of stuff actually means a really large difference to whether or not you survive or pass a level, particularly at late game. But like I said, there are some other things too to mention. Being the mythic shards, this is the only way to acquire the mythic shards. If you do want to go ahead, just remember you do need to fill out your index score as everything. Like, I feel like most players probably know about this one. I want to say that it's kind of an obvious one for those that even have started the game, but you will need to invest in the other mythics in order to use that charm. They are kind of expensive. It's around 270 merit badges for one full one, which kind of means that, yeah, you're going to be sacrificing the opportunities. But once you do get your mythic charms, they are worthwhile using. Another thing to mention is, of course, the mythic tactics. Now, I have 31 shards, and I am ready to level up my, where is it? I'm ready to level up the sixth secret, which is the healing technique. I don't know if I will. I don't know. I don't know if I'll invest in this. I actually just want to start to work towards some of these outfits instead. So I'll have to think about this. I'm curious, outfits or a mythic charm? Mythic charm or a mythic tactic? All these questions I'll have to answer for myself, but in reality, I guess when you start a project, you should probably try and finish it off. So I may just try and finish this off instead. Grab the extra ones because, like, let's be honest, it is very expensive. 25 for 5 shards. It's really going to cost me. I feel like that's going to cost me everything that I will get this event. I might have to buy the bullet and do it. But another thing that I probably should mention as well is when we're looking at the silver merit tactics, I want to say that the best investment at the moment in the game is in fact going to be your advanced engraving crystals. It's going to be advanced crystals, and it's going to be these crystals over here. And the reason being is as you start to get a little bit later, and this is only for the late game players, so for those that already know, that's fantastic. But for those that are a little bit curious, it is worthwhile getting all of your heroes up to dragon. And as you can see, even though I have been doing this consistently, a lot of my weapons still aren't up to dragon. And once you get them to dragon, then you can actually get them a little bit further. So, not the mythicize, where is the ascension? So in order for me to engrave further, you do need the ultimate relic crystals, and these bastards are really, really expensive. Now, is it worth getting them to Eagle? Absolutely. It is worth getting them all up to the a mythic set, particularly for the accuracy, but mainly for the evasion, because evasion late game is pretty much where it's at. So the higher your evasion is, the less likely you'll be hit by a target. And particularly for the, I want to say the Warlords have a lot of innate evasion buffs on their team. So it kind of really works in for my ones, but for everyone else, the rule still applies. You really need to be starting to focus on refining a lot of your gear if you haven't done so. That's what kind of sets a lot of players apart. I'll give you an example. So Miko here has a little bit more power than me. They're not running a full mythic team. They are running a full warlord nation. But if you have a look at some of their heroes, they have in fact already gone ahead and advanced them all the way up to Eagle. Now, I think it might only be for Dank Stash. No, it's also for Yuji as well. So this individual has focused predominantly on acquiring the, basically just getting the advanced crystals, which is pretty cool. And I feel like the difference between that and the difference between the dragon is pretty significant, particularly if you're looking at putting it on a DPS. Now, another strategy is to equally increase the hero's refinement up. I personally don't do that. I just go max out the weapons first and then start to build them up equally. If anyone is curious as to why that is, as you equally level these ones up every 2 levels, so 56, 56, and last but not least, you do get the Master Achievement, which gives everything a minor stat boost. I mean, it's not bad, right? It might be a million here, a million there, but that's kind of why you level them up equally. But like I said, that's pretty impressive. They have managed to get two of their heroes all the way up to Eagle. So that's my advice moving into it. Now, for those that are very, very brand new to this channel, I do apologize because you're probably like, I don't even know about arms race. Rule number one, get into a active legion. If you don't know what an active legion is, I can't really help you out on that one. Unfortunately, if you're on a new server, I feel like the only way to really find that out is to get into hero battles. You can tell which legion is active by the number of participants. As you can see, Beast is number one with 15 actives. We have Chaos and we have Free to Play. Throughout the day, that will probably change a little bit, but that really just depends on what you're at. But rule number one, get into an active legion. And then after that, pretty much complete your daily missions. Now, as a free-to-play, I have to tell you this. It is exceedingly easy to get onto the free-to-play leaderboard. All you need to do is make sure that you are consistent. So as you can probably tell, there are 15 members in our Legion, and really there are only probably about 5 spenders that do so pretty consistently. So for the rest of the players, it really just comes down to who gets ranked first. And the idea is that you need to be just doing all of your missions as they come up. The most annoying missions that I will probably talk about is going to be your Conquest. Conquest is going to be the hardest one for you to do because you need to basically spend gold in order to unlock the 60 additional attempts. It will probably make or break whether or not you land within the top 10. So be aware of that. The rest of it is really just, are you saving up your tokens? Now, if you're saving up your tokens and stuff like that, which, by the way, I mean by your additional resources, you can kind of plan ahead throughout the month to like most players know. And most players will learn that there are certain events that are going to require you to use your resources. It just so happens that Arms Race and the Celebrate Festival are two of the biggest ones. So if you know that they're going to appear at least twice a month, make sure that you are saving up and hoarding your tokens. Don't go crazy every single day, maxing them out and spending all of the ones. Just try to save them up. Another big one that a lot of players get caught out is stamina. And unfortunately, there is only 2 ways to fix that. Spend gold or wait until tomorrow. There really isn't any one other way to realistically get stamina. Geez, these guys are no joke. This is the last stage, by the way, to get you to a 4-star mythic. So they are not going out without a fight. We actually have ooh. Wow. They actually have Wei Yan as well. Interesting. Alright, anyway, you need to do that, and unfortunately stamina pills are the hardest. If you're looking to max out the stamina purchases depending on your VIP, I mean, that is 3,210 gold that I'm not going to spend just for 34 extra pills. So, unlike me, I have to be patient and wait till tomorrow. Another one is, if you are going to try to do this, I would only recommend trying to get these additional battles if you are VIP 10 and above, and the reason being is because you won't be able to get that additional slot until tomorrow. And of course, if you don't know, this server event is only 2 days long. The cross server is 1 day, so it isn't worth buying the additional attempts for the I want to say, what are they called? It's not worth buying the team battle additional attempts unless you are over VIP 10. Just because it's not going to help you out. It's not going to help you out at all, because tomorrow you'll be able to do, I believe you'll be able to do 9 of them, which is an additional couple of drums. But in saying that, let's jump straight into it. Make sure you are spending your gold. You need to spend gold. You need 5k gold there. You need to be buying these ones every single event. And the reason being is, much like the food festival, it's just free stuff. It's free gold merit badges. You can save them, you can spend them, you can do whatever you like with them. I know for a fact many free-to-play players will spend them, and that is absolutely a-okay. Do with it as you please. There are some things that I will prioritize, but if you haven't already listened to that part, go back and look again. So the thing you need to remember is you need 500 troops minimum to land on the server leaderboard. As you can see, we have 589 troops. If you are a light spender, I would recommend buying this pack for $1.59 or $1 pack every single day, just so that you can guaranteed get on the leaderboard. The God's Blessing isn't too bad. It starts out at $13.99 for those that are in Australia. Everyone else in the world, I believe, is the $10 pack. But basically, these are the ones that most players are spending and buying. The other one is the Lucky Shop pack. Now, the thing with this is it is quite nice because it does coincide with some other events. But the reality is, unless you're close to finishing off or really are just a really light spender, I mean, you are going to get 10 of the bulls, which is nice. You are going to get some selection chests here. But the reality is, the reason why you're buying this pack is for the bulls. And is it worth, I don't know, is it worth $8 for 10 bulls? It is if that's going to be enough for you to finish off your fire deity, absolutely. But if it's really just chipping away, just be aware that it's probably better to invest on your arms race. Honestly, it's better to buy some flags on your arms race. And the reason being, of course, is the leaderboard. I mean, if you can get on the top 3 of that leaderboard by spending $8, or even in the top 5 by spending $8, I mean, you do get the guaranteed gold merits, and of course, you do get the Thunder Fire Feather selection patches as well. For those that are going to whale out, and I know that is a select few, just be mindful that this is, I believe that's a full feather. So, honestly, if you're going to spend a couple of $100 to get on this leaderboard, just be aware that it is 2,000 points if you are a new whale on the game. It is very expensive. It is very, very expensive, and you will need to be competing against 10 servers in the region, and those servers have probably got bigger whales than you are. If you want to accept that challenge accepted. But essentially speaking, this one's only for the Megalodons, and they already know what they're doing. Now, I really don't feel like there's anything else to talk about. What I will do, though, is I am going to keep grabbing these ones out. I need to grab as many of these ones as possible so that I can start to keep working on these. It is very, very frustrating, but eventually you'll get to the point where you're like, "Ugh, you know what, PB? I think you're right. I think you are right. You have to start getting these stupid engraving crystals. Another thing, of course, is accessory stones and beast pills, which are another very, very annoying currency. Talking about that, before we wrap it up, we're going to do a couple of warlords clashes to end the video. But what I needed to do was grab these shards every single day. Make sure you get your shards each day. Very, very important. The ones that you want to build anyway. Then the rest basically go to accessory stones. Make sure you're grabbing your essence here. Very, very important. Where's the other thing? I always grab some of these ones. We're on 100, which is nice. We've got to grab some of you, Gal. Who else am I building? Am I building anyone else? I'm not, so I'll keep going down the line. I've spent you. Have I grabbed any of you? I have. I've been getting these. By the way, you run out of these things so quickly. I would recommend getting scrolls if you have some spare ones. Don't need anything here. Where's the one that I'm looking for? This one. Yes, this one. Make sure you're advancing your trials because eventually you'll unlock the quad selection chest, which is really good. For those that are curious, you eventually will be able to max out Demon Raid from your side quest. I am working currently on Earthquake for free. So on top of that, I feel like I'm just going to be spending on this currency chest to unlock some cool ones. But you do need to buy these ones every single day. Just because it's so expensive to get these stupid accessories. Now, last things last, we should probably jump straight into it. We did manage to get to Platinum. We'll do a couple of fights to play around with the Warlords. Hopefully they don't all kill me. And they're going to kill me. Yes, they are. So I'm going to drop down a rank, which is very annoying. It is purely RNG, unfortunately. Yes. Can I take one of you with me? Pixie, you better proc and give me a shield as well. Come on. Come on, Xiaopi. Kill yourself on my shield already. Ah, they didn't kill themselves. It's fine. Sometimes I just like to see the reflect damage. And we're immune. Of course, we're going to skip ahead. But there you go. I think we might have dropped down. If anyone's curious, Li Lun Kui is still a beast, even though they died. And the reason being, and I want to say this, and I probably will just give some tips as well about how to build her for those that are Warlord players. I'll show you in a second why you want to build her a very specific way. This one's a little bit. I think it's like you either get one that's so overpowered or you get one that you're just gonna beat. And I feel like this is one that you're just gonna beat. This person though maybe has watched the videos. Who knows? They are running the right setup at the moment on Lu Dongui. Of course. Let's see how much damage she does. Let's see how much damage the enemy one does. Ooh, yep, I thought so. I thought so. So as you can see, she's still out DPSing most of our heroes that did not even attempt. Now, of course, the bull is huge, right? Inferno Kitty and the Fire Deity are huge. But what I want to say is, for those that are curious, and I know a lot of players will ask, what setup is best run on her? The best setup at the moment, currently, is going to be the Dragon's Blade and it's going to be the Dragon's Flame. And the reason being is this lovely lady starts to stack her, where's her abilities? So her abilities essentially starts to stack. Yeah. So shield increases attack by 15% and defense by 15%. And if she starts the round, she gets a shield. So the reason you want to be running her is because A, the halberd stacks attack, and this one scales off attack. This one right here is where she gets all of her damage from. I'm not even going to play around with you. She does so much damage running the Dragon Flame. It is not even funny. And the fact of the matter is the Dragon's Blade, I feel like it's just designed for this character as well. But there you go. That's just a little pro tip. Run those setups on her and she will literally melt the enemy team. You'll be like, but I thought Dank Stash was the best one. Just wait and see. Li Lin Kui actually caps pretty hard. Of course, though, you need to still be building dominant Dank Stash with the Mythic Sword. Don't sleep on that. Run him with Seduction or Glamour Charm to CC the enemy. I would strongly recommend maxing out his relics as well to maximize his attack statistics. Make sure you run him with the full enhanced accessory as well. This guy is your finisher. He pretty much just sets everyone up. But I'm telling you, Li Lin Kui, don't sleep on her. She is really, really strong in PvE. Alright, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section down below. Hit that like, subscribe, notification button. Jump into our Discord in the link in the description blocks. And if you see me on Facebook, make sure you say hello as well. Until next time.